What's going on, everybody? Um, some planes are still coming in. Maybe after this stream, I might go back out. Uh, but pretty crazy freaking last couple of days. For anybody, I don't know if you guys went out hanging out where whatever was going on. Um, but wow, this weekend, I, I don't know. Some of the crazies came out. That's for damn sure. So we're going to be talking about a lot of the crazy stories that happened this weekend for me while I was driving. Um, and then just hang out, whoever's up. It's almost 1 o'clock where I am. It was pretty busy tonight. I went out for a few hours. Destination Filter actually worked for once. What's up, Paul? How's it going? Yeah, Destination Filter actually worked for once, surprisingly. So that was kind of cool. I ended up going from downtown Buffalo about 20 minutes past my house. And then a new ride came in, which was about 15 minutes further away. But then it came back like to 2 minutes away from my house. So that I guess kind of worked up, which I ended up making like an extra $40 or something. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, other than that, holy crap. I don't know if you guys been going out there with any crazy rides this weekend, but damn. It all started with Thursday night. Before that, earlier the week wasn't too bad. Pretty calm for the most part. But Thursday's first ride I took, this guy started trying to talk about politics. And I'm like, there's a few things that you don't say. So this is the first PSA. Good public service announcement. Whenever you're doing Uber, Lyft, driving, whether you're a passenger or a driver, there's certain topics that you should just avoid talking about because it could cause issues because there's, I don't know, too many people who are hypersensitive or something. So like politics, sexual orientation, religion, any of that crap, just don't talk about. So one guy, he's older, set in his ways, starts talking about politics. And anytime anybody wants to say anything about that, I just go into a very extra vague mode. So I'm educated in a lot of different things on the politics spectrum, but I don't talk about it, about anything. What's up, Sammy? How's it going? But yeah, I don't talk about any politics. And when people want to bring it up, I go extra vague. And if they keep going too far, then I'm like, look, I just don't talk about this kind of stuff. Problem is with talking about those things, it's actually good to talk about, but in a different setting where people are more receptive to actually listening and not debating or arguing or anything like that. And when you're in a driver versus passenger situation, and if you guys, disagree on something in terms of your political beliefs or your religious beliefs or whatever it might be, that ride can start getting very tense. So there's a lot of things there you just want to kind of avoid completely. So that's why I go in extra vague mode when anything like that pops up. So yeah, try to avoid topics like religion, sex, and especially politics in this day and age, because any false report, any argument, anything like that can go into deactivation, problems like that. So that's the first PSA. That video I actually started editing too, so that's going to be coming out in the next week or two, about this guy. Talking the way he was talking, but then also you could see my reaction. It was just like, I don't know if I got to rewatch it a little bit better because I got to see if I just glazed over or something, but I was not really like paying attention. And whether I agree with somebody or disagree, I'm just not going to say how I think about it, because again, if you agree with something, they can go into the next subject, and then if you disagree there, that's where the issue starts. So it's just best to avoid it altogether. Friday in XL 130 from San Diego, Mexico to Hollywood. Oh wow. That's a pretty good ride right there, actually. Hopefully it wasn't too crazy for you. But yeah, that's pretty nice. Actually, funny other story. There was a long pickup, or not a long pickup. I'm sorry, a long ride from where I was. I was just about heading home. I was like debating if I want to head home or not, and it was like 12:15, and it was a slower night, or a slow part of the night. So I'm like, ah, screw it. I got stuff to do in the morning. So I'm just about heading home, about to turn on the destination filter, and a long trip pops up. And I was debating about it, and I'm like, oh, should I take it or not? And I ended up denying it. And I'm kind of mad at myself for doing that, because I kind of wanted to see where it was going, more than anything. But where it would have been either like south or east, just the way we are located, at least in this part of the state. So I'm like, oh, I was thinking, oh, maybe I'd be driving to New York City or something. I don't know why it was just popping in my head, but yeah, that was I don't know. I'm kind of kicking myself in the ass for not doing that. You didn't want to. Oh, yeah, that kind of sucks. Recently I had a guy who was a long pickup, and he ended up sleeping through his train stop. So he ended up going to the next train stop, which was in Buffalo, and had to shoot back to Rochester. So it was like an hour and 15-minute ride back. I think I talked about that last time. But yeah, hey, if you ended up taking it, it's a pretty good ride. But the only thing that sucks is then the round trip back. But depending on where you are, how far you had to go, that could have been one thing. All right, on to another crazy thing that happened on that same Thursday. Wait, was it Thursday? No, it was. I don't even know when it was. Maybe it was Thursday. All these rides are blending in. Pick up a woman. It was probably 11 at night, so it wasn't real late at all. Obviously been drinking. We're and it's like a 24-minute ride. So from where we were to where we're going, about 24 minutes or so. And not even halfway through, about 10 minutes in, she's like, can you pull over? I'm like, oh, fuck. Great. And I had old bags, like puke bags in my car. I always carry them. And I actually took them out because I was detailing my car earlier for that, and I forgot to put them back in. And luckily she said something and pulled over. So I pulled over right away. And at that point, my attitude just shifted from like, I was having a good time to I need you to get the hell out of my car. But I ended up finishing the ride, because she did say I need to pull over, threw up outside the car. Everything made it outside the car, which was fantastic. So I was still able to continue driving, nothing in the car. I was extremely happy about that. But yeah, another crazy thing right there. So I guess another PSA. If you haven't gotten puke bags yet and you drive at night, get them. Highly recommended. You can also do Ziploc bags, like the big ones, like the freezer bags, something that you can open up big. So if you don't want to go on Amazon or something and pick up puke bags, I don't recommend getting the plastic ones. I recommend getting the ones that they put in airplanes, because there's a reason why they put them in airplanes. They work. I've heard some things with the plastic bags that sometimes they don't work, sometimes they'll break through. You don't want to do that. So if you are if you're driving at night, make sure you pick up puke bags, whether the paper ones, those are the best. I think you can get them on Amazon 100 for $10. I mean, I bought them a long time ago, so I don't even remember what they were. But Ziploc bags work just as well, and they'll hold pretty well. And you get the bigger ones just in case. But yeah, you get a pretty wide shooting range if that comes to it. So that's a definite PSA if you guys aren't doing that yet. Another crazy freaking ride was some this part pisses me off more than anything. This was yesterday, actually. And I have a dash cam. I scrub through all my footage. I save everything. So I have every piece of footage from the first night I used my dash cam pretty much to just ending today. I have all of my footage saved, and I was scrubbing through it earlier today for the footage for yesterday, and motherfuckers, somebody was given a hand job in the back of my car. Motherfuckers, that one pissed me the fuck off. So I saw that, man. The moment I saw that, I changed the rating right down to 1 star, put it in there, and then I contacted Lyft right away, and I said, "Look, this is what happened," and I don't know what went from there, but wow, that one pissed me off. So fucking disrespectful right there. I can't even begin to imagine. Okay, so going to you accepted the whoop, notified you it was 100. That's cool. Is that Lyft? Paul, was that Lyft? Because yeah, unfortunately I always get only 45 plus minutes, so I don't know how far it could be. I mean, it could be literally 45 minutes away, or it could be 10 hours away. I really hope they change that. I hope that's like something new that they're working on, where they're letting you know it's about 137 minutes away, unless you're also accepting like 90% of your Lyft rides where they'll tell you where it is. Because that's the only way I'll know. But yeah, it was Lyft for that 45-minute ride. Uber doesn't. They'll just say 45 plus or whatever it is. I know with Lyft, it'll say like 18 minutes south. But you got to keep at least a 90% acceptance rate, and I don't have that. I think mine's at like 60 or 70 or something. I'm picky when it comes to rides. If you have a low rating, I don't accept you. Sammy, I had a girl who kept goading me. No to political views, kept telling me I want to talk about those things. She kept on until I finally gave in. Oh, sometimes people just want to fight, and that's annoying. I don't know. Sometimes they get in that mentality. Sometimes I even get in that mentality where I'm like, oh, I want somebody to bring up something. I don't know if it's just sometimes you get in that state and you're kind of like, come at me or something. But yeah, sometimes people just do that. And yeah, it gets really annoying, especially when it comes to it. But that's pretty cool. She gave you a $30 tip. So yeah, sometimes, that I think, hey, sometimes people just want to vent. Sometimes people want to argue, and that's kind of like, they want you to be your therapist. So I heard a story. Somebody commented on one of my videos, and I think the video was something like the crazy things that you have to hear, and that they're just talking. And somebody commented and said that, yeah, I had somebody say that they just order Uber Lyft rides so they can talk to somebody, without like going to a therapist. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. Just make sure you tip them accordingly. What's up, Chad? How's it going? What's up, Rideshare Source driver? How's it going? Yes, toilet bowl is a good barf bag. I absolutely agree, 100%. But unfortunately, people like to drink too much, and then when they cut themselves off, they like to get sick. And sometimes, unfortunately, that is in the vehicle. But luckily, that time it was outside. But I made sure that I got my bags right back in, so they're back in now. But yeah, crazy freaking weekend, that's for sure. What was the other? There was another thing. Oh yeah, more children trying to get in without car seats. They were trying. A couple was like fighting about it outside. The guy's like, "Yeah, I told you we weren't going to be able to have this." So she was trying, didn't work. I didn't let it. And the next ride I pulled up, oddly enough, was another child coming in the car, but at least this time she had a car seat. So that was awesome. I was able to take her, no problem. But yeah, that was at least a beneficial thing because, I hate having to deny rides for reasons like that, but safety is always the most important thing. And then also, I don't want to get a ticket for you, because you don't want to provide the safety for your child. So that's not that great. Chad, what's up? Security job. Just got on duty. Well, already tired and don't want to be here. Chad, here's a tip. If you are tired, I understand security jobs can be very boring depending on what you're doing or where you are. I recommend getting Celsius energy drink. It's a hell of a lot better than Monster, Red Bull, any of that stuff. One, it's got no sugar. It's actually healthy for you. And it's like 200 milligrams of caffeine instead of a Red Bull, which is like 75. So that's what I drink before every time I go out on a shift. So I actually had one about 9 p.m. And there's no sugar crash, nothing like that. I recommend those. So if you got to work overnights or late nights or anything like that, I recommend Celsius energy drink. You can get them at like GNC or Vitamin Shop. I think I've seen them at Sunoco's when I was driving between New York and Buffalo when I used to date a girl who used to live in New York City. So yeah, I recommend that. They got some really good ones. Orange, my favorite flavor. But just to help you out. But you also got here. So what's going on now? What was I saying? Oh yeah. But what was crazy was in between these two rides was I was driving by and I accidentally deleted the footage for this because I had it on my dash cam, but I'm actually working. I have to, my friend has software to get it back. So what I'm going to try to do is actually get try to get the dash cam footage if I can, because so mad I deleted it by accident. And it was where there was somebody who was laying on the ground, a shopping cart was on top of them, and another person was literally holding the cart and like shaking on them. But it was weird because it wasn't like, it didn't look like they were like fighting or like beating the shit out of somebody. It looked like they were like looking for somebody to stop and set up. And unfortunately, I was like on a way to a ride because otherwise, and it was like right around the corner because otherwise I probably would have called the cops. But yeah, it was such a weird situation. I don't know. Have you guys ever seen crazy stuff like that on the side of the road? Again, it was like some guy who had a shopping cart who was like on top of another guy where it looked like he was doing something, but it wasn't, it didn't look like he was beating the crap out of him in any way. It was just this weird situation. I don't even know what it was. But yeah, it was, I don't even know how to explain that. It was just this weird, crazy thing that happened so quick. I don't even know how to say it. So I'm really hoping I can recover the footage off of that. And I'm so mad at myself for doing that. Sammy, yeah, hate the child thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand that. I never understood why they would allow children, especially their own children, to go into a car without the proper car seat. It's well known fact that you need a car seat when you go into any type of car, any vehicle. It's a well known fact for safety purposes, for just the well being. I really don't understand that. I mean, it's such a weird thing, and I mean, I don't want to necessarily say that they're bad parents because they probably are pretty good parents. It's just they're making a bad decision, and yeah, I don't know. Oh, sorry, hit the phone. Yeah, now some other crazy things that happened was on the ride from downtown Buffalo tonight out 20 minutes past my house on a destination filter. I'm actually really glad I took it because it was one of the most funniest rides that I had taken. And it was basically two guys who got kicked out of a bar. The one guy got the entire family kicked out of the bar or the restaurant because he ended up he was having sex with a girl in the bathroom, and somebody walked in and like reported it. And they were just like going back and forth about how irresponsible it was. And it was like a wedding party situation thing. And oh my God, it was hilarious. Yes, that video will be up at some point in the near future, but that was hilarious what had happened. You know, you never know what you're gonna run into when it comes to anything. But yeah, comment what your crazy stories might have been this weekend if you guys went out, or anything that you've had that's been crazy recently for you. You know, it's just wrapping up tonight, hanging out, having a good time. But yeah, some crazy, crazy people out there today. And this past week, I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know if it's because of the full moon or what, but something was going on. I think actually it wasn't Thursday the full moon, and if it wasn't, it was real close to that. Something. What's up, chat? Showed up to a ride request, 2 minors. Oh God. Yeah, that's another thing right there. I really don't understand how people, I mean, unaccompanied minors, like drivers, stop doing that. Anybody who's watching this, I know you guys aren't doing that, because you guys are watching these all these channels, whether it's mine, you know, Dustin, probably Dylan, Rideshare Professor, any of these guys out there. And everybody's saying the same thing. Don't take this, don't do that. But yeah, unfortunate. I mean, I'm sure we probably all have done that. I've done stupid things. Unfortunately, Uber and Lyft don't like to share or train very well. So that's why you have to watch these videos, because unfortunately they don't tell you a lot of the things. And you know, sometimes you think that doing a for hire job, you might be under different circumstances, or you don't really know. And you know, people try to exploit the fact that you are new, and you know, try to fit 5 people instead of 4, and you know, try to fit try to get a child in without a car seat, or taking unaccompanied minors, because you know, sometimes they show commercials that contradict the what's going on, especially the one Uber commercial that showed like taking a child to like school or something, or I don't even remember what it was. It was last year, and it really contradicted everything they said. So it was a really weird thing. But yeah, you know, cancel, or well, wait the 5, cancel and collect, and then go on to the next ride. But get your $5 cancellation fee for anything like that, especially when it comes to it. But yeah, you know, I don't get it. Are passengers ever going to learn? No, unfortunately not. Luckily, actually, I'm surprised nobody tried bringing alcohol into the car. But last night was pretty cool. Last night it was storming all over the place. It was just a spectacular lightning show. It was fantastic. 0 rain, nothing happened over driving. No rain, nothing. It was fantastic. But all around me, it was all lightning all over the place. It was great. And it was all off into the distance. Great storms. So, you know, while I was driving, I was seeing all these different lightning. So I really enjoyed that. That at least made the night better. Then they had the Italian Fest downtown Buffalo. So I was dropping a couple of girls off, able to watch some fireworks. And then Serge decided to pick up because, hey, everybody's calling it a night at the end of the night there. So that was fantastic. Got a little extra money on a couple of Surge rides at that point. But yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much all I had to say. Just some crazy crap that happened. So if you guys had any crazy stories, anybody who's watching, who's still up, who's hanging out, you know, can hang out now, have a good time. If you guys got any questions or anything, comment below too. Let me know, or put it in the live chat, whatever it is. I don't even know what you want to call it. Oh man, thirsty. I also recorded a podcast earlier, and that was almost 3 hours, so quite a bit. Did I know? Did you know what? I know everything. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know everything. Children 4 to 5 years, separate carrier, integrated child seat. Child booster seat may be used unless the child is being transported gratuitously by an operator who is not a member of the child's immediate family. That's going to depend on state. Yeah, there you go, for Florida. It's definitely going to depend on state. So anybody who might be in Florida who's watching this, make sure you hit the live stream on it if this is the recording that you're watching. But yeah, rideshare source driver just said for children 4 through 5, separate carrier, integrated child seat or child booster seat may be used unless the child is being transported gratuitously by an operator who is not a member of the child's immediate family. Again, that is Florida. That is not all states. Make sure if you are in a different state, which a lot of people probably are, to check your state laws and then any local laws, because local laws can differ from state. They could be a little bit more stringent. I know in New York State, it's a little different than that. It's up to 6 years. Anything over 6 years is fine. And it's also a height and weight requirement as well. So once they hit that height and weight range, then they're good to go. Boosters, and they're changing it too. I don't even remember when, but they change it like every 4 months, it seems. It's ridiculous. But yeah. But thanks for the tip there. Because yeah, Florida, like I say, every state is different. And Florida, it's good to know that. You also have to have a 2017 or newer car in order to drive in Florida soon. Not current drivers who are already driving, but anybody who's new. Or if you have a car and you need to. Illinois, it's 8 years or 40 pound, 40 inches. Yep, good to know. Actually, you know what? I think New York did change it recently. I don't think it's 6 years anymore. I think it's later or older. I mean, I don't even, when I was growing up, I don't even remember, I had a booster seat, I don't know, until I was 5 or something. I don't even think it was that long. I don't know. I mean, they keep changing it all the time. Hey, we all survived. Anybody remember the station wagons where they had the seat facing the back with no seat belts? Whew. Man, they survived. I don't know how, but they survived. Oh boy. Oh, I also met up with Steve from Mission Uber. I don't know if you guys ever watched his channel, but check that channel out. Mission Uber is actually a pretty cool channel. He's also in Buffalo. He does trivia, like a lot of crazy different trivia. So it's very much like Cash Cab. Cool guy. I've met him a few times. Him and I are talking about doing a collab or a couple collabs, probably trying to do something this week at least. So check his channel out. He's got a pretty good channel, real funny, real cool guy too. Give him a little plug there. Last comment, sorry, hold on, let me go back, check it. Yeah, some people are stupid. I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about, but I know I did see how you were talking about the 10 years old, maybe a little older. Yeah, cancel. Another Uber showed up and accepted the ride. I didn't actually, I'm sorry, I didn't see that part. I read through and did miss that part. So yeah, Uber showed up and accepted their ride. Wow. Yeah, some people are stupid, and it's drivers. Not that one. Which one talking about? Write it again. Yeah, write it again. I don't know if it came through, because that was the last thing I saw from you. So yeah, I'm not sure what comment you said. I have on here, I have rideshare source drivers comments about that, and then you talking about the picking up the 10-year-olds, and then the other Uber driver who decided to come and pick them up too, which I don't know. Ugh. But yeah, just typed it again. I don't know. It's not coming through. So maybe it's being blocked by YouTube. Um, Maybe depending on what you're putting in there, it could be being blocked by YouTube. Certain things they will block. If you want to adjust a little bit what you're saying, try putting that in a little bit differently. If you're putting in like a number or something, sometimes that can yeah, nothing's coming through. So if you're putting in like a number where it looks like like a phone number, they can block it. If it's got any certain language in there, they can block it. But yeah, they can block a lot of different things. Usually I get a pop-up that says if I want to accept it, but it's not showing up anything at all. So I don't even know what's okay, you had two. Okay, here we go. You do girls get in car once. They're college girls, drunk, and after the star drive, kept asking if. Oh, okay. There you go. That's the exact reason why. Yeah, YouTube banned that one. Didn't say that. Yeah, that's that. I've had stupid people say stupid comments like that. Not that exactly, but where they will say. Like, you're not going to kidnap me or anything like that. And it's like, really? Do I want to take you anymore? I know you're trying to be funny, but if you were like at an open mic night, you probably would get booed off stage. So why would it be funny here? Yeah, I mean, I think we've all probably had stupid comments like that. Yeah, like I said, that's the reason why it didn't come through. But yeah, okay. Yeah, I've seen that from other people as well too, saying stupid things. Whether it be that exact comment, where I've heard something or another thing where they were just like, "Oh, are you gonna do what happened to some of the people that were abducted by fake Uber drivers?" I don't want to say it because YouTube is real tricky with a lot of things, and I don't want the thing to get pulled. So not there's certain things I can't say really, but yeah, something like that. And then add the mutilations and but yeah, sometimes that's the problem with YouTube. It's not necessarily the freedom of speech you might want to say. Yeah, sure, I can say a lot of crap and things, but there's certain things I gotta stay in accordance with because there is community guidelines that they have, which I understand. You want to make sure certain things are in line, and you don't want to promote anything, even though it's not promoting it. There's a lot of crazy things though that just needs to be like completely addressed differently, at least when it comes to YouTube. Actually, my one video yesterday, it was the call center one that got demonetized for some reason, or it's running limited ads. And we were talking about call center stories, which was it was funny. I love those stories. I love it when I pick up a person from a call center because I love hearing what their craziest stories are from people. It's just so freaking hilarious. The craziest one is I picked up somebody from an insurance company, and I asked them what the craziest story they had was, and he was like, "Oh yeah, they were in the midst of trying to sue somebody because they couldn't have sex with their significant other anymore because of some accident." And I'm just like, wait, what? And it was a video from a long time ago. It was one of my first few videos that I did on the channel. So I'm sure probably a lot of you haven't seen it. But yeah, that was, I think, the first call center story I had, video I had on there. But I love those ones. But yeah, I don't know what tripped it. Something apparently did in there. Maybe it was talking about the story where it was like breaking in and all that. But and getting pay-per-view and whatever. So it was like a pretty crazy thing. Tell riders if it was a fake driver, the rider presented himself. Tell riders if it was a fake driver, the rider presented himself to that driver. Yeah, honestly, at that point, it is a rider's mistake. Unfortunate. I mean, there shouldn't be fake Uber, Lyft drivers, but there are a lot of people who try to take cash rides. There's a few Facebook pages that I see that they will try to get cash rides for, you know, doing whatever, going somewhere. So they aren't even really Uber or Lyft drivers. They're just people who want to take for hire work. And if they get caught, they're screwed because it's very much against the law, and they'll get a nice little ticket. And actually, I think in New York they might get their license suspended. I can't remember though. It's a crazy thing. But yeah, they have that happen. And unfortunately, yeah, it's if you're a passenger and you're using Uber Lyft, you have all of this information. You have the make and model of the car, you have the license plate, you have the driver's picture, you have the driver's name, you have you can call. There's a lot of different things you can do. So if you get into the wrong car, that's all on you for not paying attention to all the things that are there. Also, if it's Lyft and you have the Lyft amp, it'll light up the same color and show you the color. So if it lights up green, it's going to show up on the app, on the passenger app, green. So it helps to try and, you know, show that person. So there's all these different things that you're doing, or that the rider can see. And if they don't want to do that, then, well, that's their problem. Sammy, I don't know what you said, but the message was retracted. I don't know how or why. But Sammy, if you want to retype that a little bit differently, YouTube, again, they'll take things if there's certain words in there, certain trigger words, and they'll take it away. So if you want to rewrite that, then go ahead. Safer to stick head in lion's mouth than entering a car you don't know if. Yeah, absolutely. You don't know what's going to happen or who's driving that car. With the Lyft sticker on it, and the car said it was. Yeah, it's, you know, it's, you can get a Lyft sticker very easily. You could get it from somebody could have had it, you could have taken it from somebody. There's a lot of different things you could have done. You could have probably also had one made. You can get them on Amazon. I mean, I don't think you could get the official ones on Amazon. I haven't even looked for it. But yeah, you can't do that two-door car. Hey, whatever, who knows? Oh, that's another thing, another PSA. For any driver, even passenger, do not get in and out of the car on a busy street, blocking traffic. Stop doing that. It's so unsafe. Let the for passengers, don't, if you're, you know, at a busy street or a bar district where traffic is moving slow, don't just get out of the car. You know, let the driver pull over to the side of the road where it's safe to get out. And, you know, try to exit the vehicle on the passenger side. Don't open the door on the driver's side, just because it's not safe. And I've seen a lot of people just open the door and car will come by and almost take off the door and almost probably hit the person. I've seen that a few times recently. Just be smart out there, passengers and drivers. You know, if there's a way to keep your doors locked, just keep them locked until you can pull over to the side of the road and say, hey, look, I'm pulling over to the side of the road where it's nice and safe. Problem is, they're starting to ticket a lot of drivers who stop in the middle of the road or who let passengers out in the middle of the road, and even stop to pick up passengers in the middle of the road. Cops are pulling drivers over and ticketing them for doing that. There's a lot of crackdowns all over the country, so do not do that. I know in Buffalo, I've seen many drivers get pulled over already. Just don't do it. It's not smart to do whatsoever. Sammy, again, I don't know if it was like I said, the message was retracted. I don't know if you're still on here or not. But if you did, you can rewrite it. Just rewrite it in a different way. So if there's a suggestive word on there, break it up a little bit or something. You saw our car, Chad. You saw our car once. Oh yeah, sorry, I read that. 2 doors and a moonroof. Yeah, I don't know, the 2-door thing. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I like the fact that it has 4 doors. Even though you can get in the back seat. I used to have a 2-door car, and it was actually pretty roomy in the back. Yeah, it was pretty easy to get in and out. But I understand that because, hey, I'd rather have passengers in the back seat than the front seat, especially if it's one-on-one. Get in the back seat. That's what I prefer. Wrote it again. You don't see it. No, Sammy, it's the same thing with what happened with Chad. If you put in a word and it's one of those words that YouTube will be like, this is not a word we like, we just delete the message and it doesn't even show up. It might show up on your end, but I don't see it, and nobody else will see it in the live chat. So if it's a certain word, try spelling it out, but put like periods in between or something, or change the word to maybe the definition of it, maybe, or put it in parentheses with something. But yeah, if you change it around a little bit, that comment can kind of probably pop through at that point. If it's a phone number or something that looks like a phone number, I know it'll take it away immediately. I don't know why, but I'm not sure what you're going to be putting in. But yeah, I don't see it. Yeah, like I said, YouTube has some crazy things in there. And unfortunately, it's not something where I can oversee it. And I mean, I can retract messages. I have moderator abilities because obviously it's my channel. But yeah, I can't. Sometimes it won't allow me to moderate things if it's certain words in general. There's actually a list of words that I put in the back end of things that it will filter out. So certain things do filter out that way. So it could have been my fault accidentally. But yeah, like I said, if you do that, just change the word around, or the wording around, or whatever it might be around a little bit, and it should hopefully pop through. You saw in Uber's lists for what marked had not. I think Acura NSXs are allowed, aren't they? Yeah, it is a 2-door. Beautiful car for sure. I love Acuras. They're gorgeous cars. All right, hey, Sammy, I think this is it. Hopefully, pulled up to a pickup, was in an alley, didn't drive down it. Dimly lit when it came into the light. They're all wearing. Oh Jesus, pulled off. Yeah, definitely. I don't blame you there. That could have been one of two things. That could have been they were trying to rob you, mess you up, or they were a getaway or trying to use you as a getaway car. Either way, that would have, yeah, I would have gone right past that too. Smart decision right there. Yeah, I don't know why that would have. Yes, in Japan it's Honda. There is no Acura in Japan. It's all Honda. It's kind of funny. They do it here because it's the luxury line of Honda. I used to own an Acura. I loved it. I didn't own an NSX, but I had an Acura. It was phenomenal. It was a great car. I loved it. Unfortunately, somebody rear-ended me. And so then I got a Jeep, and this is what I got, which is fine. I love the Jeep too. It's a fantastic car. So, oh, I've had people put fucking in the comments, and actually I don't know. Yeah, maybe. If anything, you can just put F. I'll understand it. Other people reading will understand it too. Yes, I mean YouTube can be picky with things. Usually, when it comes to that, um, it'll actually pop up on my end if I want to like allow it or not. And unfortunately, that one didn't. I don't know if it may be that they just changed something. Because I've done another live stream where yeah, that might have been it then. Yeah, I've done another live stream where it pops up and it'll say, "Hey, do you want to accept or retract this message?" So it might have been something they just changed recently within the last week. They're always changing stuff and never tell you anything. Um, just reading driver or rideshare source driver. First came to Acura USA. People with Acura were showing off the owners. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's that's all it is. It's a Honda. It's just a Honda with an A. Same engine and everything. Like my one engine was in a Honda Accord. It was the same thing in mine. Great car though. I loved it. I mean, Hondas are fantastic. I don't understand why. Sometimes, I mean, yeah, that was a little weird of a thing where it was like, oh, I got an Acura. It's the same thing. Same damn thing. They made it a little nicer on the inside and did a couple of different things, but yeah, it's a Honda. I love them though. They were fantastic cars. So these live streams. No, I'm offline. I actually went back home. So I had a ride. I was in downtown Buffalo. Put the destination filter on. Went 20 minutes past my house. Then I actually had another ride come in that I didn't mean to accept because it was like 12 minutes away, and I don't know, I wasn't thinking properly, so, and I accepted it, and it was to Darien Lake, which is like an amusement park, and they do concerts and stuff, so it was a concert getting out, but luckily it was like the tail end of it, so I didn't have to get caught in traffic. But what was nice was it was like 3 minutes away from my house. So yeah, I just came back over here. And did it. And then the only reason I won't go online or I won't be online with live stream because if a ride comes in, if I'm on here, I just have to, end it right away. But no, I wouldn't do it. Yeah, I'd be offline. I'm actually sitting in my driveway right now. I mean, if I wanted to, S2Ks are nice. My buddy had one. We did a lot of work on that. Those are fun cars, fun little cars. They got a lot of room for a good turbo too. Make them real fast. I have a friend that turboed his S2K, and that was a lot of fun. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, if I ever meet up with like I know a few Uber and Lyft drivers around here that have channels as well. So like I said, Steve from Mission Uber. If we ever meet up, we might do a live stream where we're in the middle of a shift, but be offline at least for that time being. Because yeah, rides are different. Plus, everything is done on. If I close this, you guys won't see me. It'll kind of like shut off. Nice with the destination filter. First time it worked awesome. 45-minute ride with Surge. That's better. $95. Awesome. That's cool. Yeah, I sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like last week I was about 8 minutes away from my house. Excuse me, sorry. I was about 8 minutes away from my house, and the pickup was like 12 minutes away. And it's like, that was just to go to the pickup. So, and it's like towards your destination, but where? So yeah, I ended up not taking that because I'm not going further out. Now, in the event of tonight, that was an accident that actually worked out in my favor, which was nice. So I can't complain about that one. But yeah, sometimes that stuff does work out in the favor. There has been a lot of problems though with destination filters recently. I don't know if it's just because they upgraded their software or their systems recently, but yeah, it hasn't been working well. But I think it's starting to get a little bit untacked. Although the one ride, I mean, it's weird because it'll take you how it works is if you get a ride and you're say like 20 minutes away from your destination, as long as it's closer in terms of distance or time, and I'm not quite sure which one it might be yet. You could, let's just say you're 20 minutes away and 20 miles away, just to keep it simple. If you're anywhere closer, that means that there's a whole radius that it could be around your actual destination. If it's any closer than that 20-minute, 20-mile, again, I'm not sure which one it uses. I don't know if it uses distance or time. I think it uses distance, but don't quote me because I'm not 100% sure. As long as it's a bit closer, so if it's 19 minutes or 19 miles, it'll be considered, even though you might have to go way out of your way to pick that person up. So you might have to go, 12 minutes the other way away from you. But as long as you end up a little closer than where you currently are, it's technically considered right. And then again, that can also take you, you're 20 minutes from your location, and let's just say you're at the same corner as a ride comes in. It can take you, 30 minutes away. So you could go 10 minutes past your location, but because you're actually closer to it in terms of radius, then that's how it kind of gets around. So I'm not sure if that's where people are getting the confusion with destination filter, but from what I've heard, yeah, there's been some weird things happening with the destination filter, but I think it's working good now, or at least it's kind of been working better. At least in the event tonight with you yesterday, that's pretty nice with the surge. And that's the cool thing about destination filters now is that surge actually is included with destination filter, because up until very recently it wasn't, which sucked. But now it's a lot better. I like that. It's great. All right, you're out. Have a good night. Thanks, Sammy. You have a good night, and thanks. I'll try keeping it up. Yeah, I got a lot of good videos coming up. A lot of crazy stories happen. A lot of crazy things happen. And then just a lot of cool things coming up as well too. So you guys have a good night. I'm actually going to wrap up. If you guys got any last comments, any last things you want to share, anything, any questions, comment below right now. Because I'm about to log off too. It's almost 2 in the morning where I am. I'm sure that the few people that are watching this right now, you're probably West Coast, even though you might not be. But yeah, it was just a crazy weekend that I had to wrap up. I was actually going to go on Thursday night. I was just so flustered and just pissed off by the end of the night with what was going on. I'm like, I can't go on. And then just this whole weekend was just crazy. Like I said, I think it was something to do with this full moon going on, or something, or this crazy hot weather. I mean, it's been hot everywhere. I'm in Buffalo, and we're getting weather that's like freaking Florida right now, because the dew points are so freaking high. It was like 76 dew point or something, which was like, it was so humid. It's like you walk outside and it's just, you're met with water. So it was like, oh, it was so warm. And I think that was probably playing maybe with a few people's heads. I don't really know, making them a little cuckoo, a little crazy. Good night, Chad. Oh, Tucson, yeah, 10:43. Hopefully you have a good night. Hopefully you get some good YouTube videos. You can check out any of the ones that are on my channel. Or at least anything. There's a lot of great YouTube channels out there. If you want a couple of good laughs, my neighbor Billy is hilarious. That's hilarious, and she's actually in Mesa, Arizona, so not too far from you. I know that in Mesa, which is I mean, it's absolutely hilarious. So if you haven't checked that channel out, that's a really funny channel. So it'll hopefully pass your time being in security. What's up, Rick? How's it going? And see you. I'm not hoping you're not just getting on now, because we're kind of wrapping it up. But how are you, man? Um, Sharing, caring. Yep. um, but yeah, like I said, other than that, if you guys got any questions or want to share any crazy things that happened to you, or anything like that, comment now or forever hold your peace, by waiting to comment in the comment section below. And also, as always, if you guys ever want to share any crazy story, what had happened, any reaction, anything you want to share, you can record yourself. You could even sit here talking like this, record it, your interaction of what had happened, or recalling it. And you can send it my way, and I can put it on the channel. I always like to know what other people have to experience. It could be actually a really cool story. It could be a crazy story. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you guys want to put on there, or whatever you think will make a good story, or something you heard, whatever it could be. Comment, I'm sorry, send it to me, and I can put it on as well too. But yeah, other than that, it's about 1:45 here. Doing good. Oh, okay, cool. So good. At least you didn't have to, just didn't hop on. But yeah, I am going to wrap up again, like I said, unless there's a few great comments coming on. But I think people are logging off. It is getting late. But yeah, other than that, guys, I think I am going to call it right now. So, yeah, if, I don't know. I'm getting tired. I'm actually a little hungry, which is weird. I think it's just this talking. I get hungry from talking for some reason. So I got to go get something, a little snack to eat or something. But yeah, I'm going to end this, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed. Got a good couple of PSAs. Yes, some of the videos are going to be on in future videos coming up. A couple of them that I talked about can't be because it's going to go against YouTube's community guidelines, unfortunately, but I want to blast the hell out of those asses. That irks me so much that people do that. So disrespectful. And unfortunately, I didn't know or hear. You can't tell with that type of stuff, but oh, if I would have, if I would have known, ooh, that would have been a whole different ride for sure. But yeah, I'm gonna end this right now. So, as always, never drink and drive. Always tip your drivers, and we'll see you next time.